I'll give that a shot. Let's see what happens.
One. Hey, and good afternoon. Welcome to What Thad Thinks. I am Thad Joyner. It has been 2 weeks too long since our last podcast, and I can give you a million excuses, but number one was, was trying to watch out for our little buddy in the woods and shoot some other promo videos for that. And hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. But thank you to all you loyal listeners. Thank you for all the people that have been out there keeping track and sending me messages and wanting to get this show back up. I also want to thank all the subscribers out there and people that are still tuning in each and every week. And those of you that are commenting, leaving comments, leaving reviews, big shout out, big thank you to each of you. Listen, the big news over the last 2 weeks was Neil and Mod's bet. Would he make it 2 days in the woods for $5,000? 2 days on his own, dropped in an unknown location in the woods. Well, we're not going to give away whether he actually made it 2 days, but he did make it. He is alive. Neil, let's bring the little guy out and let y'all see that he is breathing. There he is.
When did I become the little guy?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like a little puppy?
Well, I mean, there's worse things you could be. Let's bring in the big guy. You want to be the big guy?
No, just the guy.
Just the guy. Let's bring in the guy. Yeah. So I was, we're going to get to you in a minute and get to this trip for sure. I guess we want to shout out a couple of big time customers that have brought Better Beans on the last week or two. Ariane out at Carmel Mountain Preschool in San Diego. You signed a deal for them this week? You getting started on something?
Yes,
what do
sir.
They got going on?
Yes, sir. Ariane is moving forward with a big playground remodel for Carmel Mountain. So
not just
really
playground,
excited.
like outdoor classroom. I mean,
Absolutely.
She's the expert in this country of leading the industry in her outdoor classroom work. If you have not checked out Carmel Mountain Preschool, if you have a chance, they're doing amazing things, whether you're in the preschool business or not. If you have preschoolers or grandkids, this is the type of environment you really want your kids learning in. She's really leading the way out there with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then one of our very best customers and the president of the Georgia Child Care Association, Sharon Foster, right? Bells Ferry.
That's right.
Doing some outdoor environments for her as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of taking California and Georgia and knocking it down with outdoor classroom and playground remodels.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, she's really leading the way in Georgia for childcare. That's for sure. And she's a pretty dynamic leader. So can't wait to see some of what Better Beans is able to do for her. So shout out there. What else is going on in your world?
Yeah, I'll tell you, we've alluded to it several times already, but we've had over the last several weeks, you can feel the energy and business volume. It's back, right? The phone is ringing. There's a lot going on, a lot more inquiries right now. So it's exciting. We're thankful for it. And it makes, it just energizes our team as well too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to talk about it later, but we acquired another preschool, and that, I guess that acquisition was final Friday. We see students tomorrow, so pretty excited about that down in Stockbridge, Georgia. So that's going to be a pretty big deal.
Yeah, growth is out there for a lot of people right now, so that's great. Congratulations to the Cedars team for sure.
Absolutely.
Look, so hey, we're talking about things that are on the horizon and what's going on. Are you back going to movies and events, group events?
I mean, I've been back way before everybody else, right? So we're going to every high school football game on Friday nights. And if there was decent movies being released, we'd be at the movie theater.
God, can you imagine the lag?
Man, this sucks. I mean, I would like, we should have already watched Top Gun 2 by now, whatever that was. That was
That's
supposed
right.
to come out 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Joyner family is ready to be in any group setting that you want to put us in. I mean, I'd love to go to a packed concert or the movie theater. We've traveled, we've been on planes, been in hotels. I mean, we are obviously aware of, an infectious virus, but we're not scared, or we're certainly not living scared. How about that? I'm sure we'd be scared if we, are concerned if we contracted it, but we have to get going. Not worried. Yeah. Went to, got our Georgia tickets and ready to go to a football game. I'm encouraging my parents to go to church, see their friends, be smart. But I mean, I don't want them living their last quarter of their life not living, miserable at their house. I mean, I've seen some of these pictures. Have you seen any of these pictures of these people that have been in nursing homes for the last year, and like how some of them not seeing anybody from the outside, like seeing the difference in their pictures between the start and the end?
No, a total frailty.
Oh man,
Decrepit. Yeah.
I don't want to bring sadness on this call or this podcast today, but yeah, I mean, if you say, are we back? I mean, I know there's some states that aren't. I mean, I'm seeing this stuff for California that it's crazy. It reads like it's a joke. I can't believe they're not letting their people out. I mean, the biggest travesty is these kids that aren't in school. It's just driving me crazy. Like, there's going to be such a big gap. If you look in Georgia, the school systems that are closed, it's the poorest school systems that have decided to stay closed because it's cheaper. And man, it just my heart breaks.
The ripple is enormous, though, right? I mean, it's the school systems are closed, so that means parents are at home, which means they're not productive at work, which means the economy. I mean, look, you're talking about California; it's the largest economy in the United States.
Is it?
That's a massive ripple.
I mean, I'm not as worried about the economy as I am about a 12-year-old kid falling behind. Listen, my kids aren't falling behind. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to school, they're getting tutoring, they're playing their sports, they're living their life and getting ahead. But in other counties, they can't. It makes no sense. I don't understand.
Yeah, as though a border of a county would change something.
I just want to go shake these leaders' hands and go, what are you doing? These kids are missing out. I don't understand. I don't understand at all. I don't know. And I don't know what their end game is. Like, at what point are they going to go, yeah, now it's okay. I don't get it.
Well, not to be cynical, but if I were being cynical, I would say the end game is the election.
Well, the election's not going to be the end.
That's too bad.
You think it's going to be over on the election?
Boy, I hope so. We're only a week away. So
you think November 4th we're going to wake up and it's all going to be new?
Maybe something close to that, barring no hanging chads. And really, it's not even just at the federal level, right? I mean, there's plenty going on across local government and state government too. So, ready to stop talking about it. It's in our preparation for podcasts, we go through and look at what's trending and talk about small business things. But at the end of the day, it is dominating the conversation all the time, right? But look, going into election day, if Thad Joyner is running for election right now, you've got 2 weeks left.
God help us.
Yeah, how many votes you getting? You got 2 weeks left. How do you get?
No, I listen. A friend of mine, David Sams. I don't think he listens. Maybe his wife listens. A friend of mine, David Sams, took a screenshot of his election the other day, and he wrote me in. Here in his election, he wrote me in for soil conservation director for Gwinnett County, Georgia. So I do have one vote for one elected office here in Georgia. To be honest with you, I voted early today. I've never voted early. I always vote on election day. I voted early today because my wife wants to go out of town. And so we voted early today, and I wrote myself in for soil conservation director as well.
2 votes.
So I will have 2 votes. I don't know if that gets me like national funding or anything, but I'm definitely 2 votes now.
Hey, maybe we could start a quick trend here. Maybe we could push for all you Georgia listeners. We're not on the ballot, but go ahead and write in Thad Joyner, soil conservation
Director or something like that. Soil and water conservation, something.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 natural elements.
Yeah. Both of them, which I'm highly qualified to.
God help everyone.
Well, here's what I came up with after this thing. I was talking to my buddy. I go, you know what would be the best thing ever? Like, move to like Timbuktu County, Georgia, right? Out in the middle of bum Egypt, right? Like Burke County. And then go get all your buddies to vote for one guy. Like, write him in for city council. Like, pick the most unlikely character that would want to be on something. And you wouldn't need but like 80 guys, right?
Yeah.
If you got like 80 people to write somebody in, and then all of a sudden he's the new
mayor.
Yeah.
Chief of police.
Like he didn't want it. Now, how awesome would that be? Like, all right, Nielsen Gupta's your new sheriff.
There's a movie script there somewhere. You know what? We're talking about this. The audience ought to listen to or watch. Check if you're a fan of Steve Carell. Is that his name? Steve Carell?
Yeah.
The Office guy, right?
Yeah.
He's got a movie.
40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah. That guy. We saw it yesterday. Irresistible. And it is basically about the influence of money in politics.
This is becoming way too much about what Neil thinks.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, little
guys got comments today.
Yeah, little froggy.
Hey man,
little froggy. But if I had 2 weeks, if I'm one of those candidates right now, and we've got to get this thing across the line, I do think one candidate has a better platform to do so. I certainly think Biden does, just because the national media is certainly more slanted towards him.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm Biden, you've got to get clear with your message. And so he needs to come out with a list of like 5 concrete things that he's absolutely going to do, that he cannot waver and he cannot make excuses. He's got to come out and give us a plan, because he's been wavering. He's like, I'm going to get rid of fossil fuels. No, I'm not going to get rid of fossil fuels. I'm going to cut taxes. Oh, I'm not going to cut, I'm not going to raise taxes. Oh, I am going to raise taxes. You're going to be able to keep, you're going to be able to keep your health care under me, but there's nothing specific, right? And so nobody really believes him. It's just all sounds like political rhetoric. He needs to come out with like 5 things. Number 1, I am not going to raise corporate taxes. The smart American understands when you say, I'm not going to raise the taxes on people. I'm just going to raise it on the companies. Well, the smart people know as soon as you raise taxes on the companies, they're just going to pay their people less or hire less people. That's just a horrible, stupid plan. So just come right out and say, listen, I'm not raising taxes. I'm going to balance the budget. Like, all this freaking money we're spending that's growing our deficit, it's over. Zero sum from now on. Actually,
it's been a long time since
people did that. If both people did that, we'd have a good chance. They'd have a good chance of getting elected if they just stood on that platform. Like, look, we are cutting spending to be in line with what we have in taxes now. No new taxes. This is it. And secondly, he's got to give 5 of those.
Yeah.
He needs to be on screen in press conferences all day long, every day, repeating those same 5 things for 2 weeks. And I think Trump should do the same. I mean, they've got to just come up with 5 things and just beat those to death. Quit letting people ask you about, Hunter Biden stories, or stay off of all the crap that really doesn't mean much to us at this point. I mean, really, all we really care about is our security, and that, like, I don't think anybody I really don't think anybody's voting based on coronavirus. Like I just don't. I mean, there may be some people that want to get rid of masks that just want the guy that wants to get rid of masks, and there may be some people that want security that just want to know that it's going to be security. But at the end of the day, um, you know, I don't think that's what people are voting on. I think that just fires up your constituency.
Yeah, part of your base.
Yeah. I mean, like that bumper sticker that came out, or that meme that I saw the other day that said, you know, if you're wearing a mask in your car, you know, we don't need you to have the Biden sticker. We already know, right? We already know who you're voting for. So it's become political. It is political, but I don't think that's what people are voting on. I think that's just a playing to your base. I think these guys got to get real clear what they're going to deliver. And maybe I said 5 things, maybe it's 3 things, and just stand tall and strong and yell from the tallest mountain. It ought to be all Trump tweets. It ought to be all, you know, Biden says in the mirror. Only talk about those 3 things.
All right. Well, they're going to pour a lot of money into those 3 things, or that message, in the remaining 2 weeks. I mean, billions of dollars.
Trump needs to talk about what he's done for national security and Middle East peace, because that's been pretty damn amazing what he's been able to pull off in the Middle East over the last month that nobody talks about. Never had these kind of peace deals. So whether you're a Republican or a Democrat and you want to give a win or a loss, it doesn't really matter. I mean, having peace in the Middle East is an unbelievable thing, and we're getting some. I mean, Sudan this week signing. I mean, that's unbelievable.
I did not see that. Okay.
Yeah, Sudan and Israel. Yeah, well, you don't, because you and your family watch CNN. So you wouldn't see that.
MSNBC.
Worse. Same. Whatever. Or at least what? No, it's not worse. It's the same. Just watch other stuff too. But enough of the boring politics. So I will say I was shocked, Neil, shocked at how many people actually cared if you were alive or dead while in the woods.
Do tell. I had no idea. I mean, I had a few messages when I got back.
I mean, I had 20, 30 people texting me constantly. Where's the update? Is he alive? Did he make it? Have you checked on him? I mean, Kathy Petchel, bless her heart, really wanted me to call it off. I could tell. And Alita too. I don't think either one of them wanted you to do this at all. So everyone was so happy that you made it and survived and lived. So, you know, we can't give it away because we are currently editing video footage. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right.
So we got this compilation of videos, Neil's, mine, maybe trail cameras. And we've hired a company to come in and put all this footage into I won't say reality TV type format, but at least good enough format that y'all can enjoy 10 or 15 minutes of pretty hilarious or victorious or tragic footage we have of Neil in the woods. We won't give it away, but what date are we going to be able to have this that we can tell our listeners now?
I will tell you
Thanksgiving.
That we will have it before Thanksgiving.
Okay, before Thanksgiving. Okay, that means lots of work. We'll release small pieces of footage from time to time to make y'all laugh.
Oh, really?
Or to make them anticipate.
Tease.
But that's right. Tease them a little bit. But I am glad you made it to, brother. I am glad. So what I've done, though, I've put together, everybody, a few things to talk about with this. It is Neil's grades. So just like in school, we've got some things that we're going to grade Neil on how he did in the woods. And Neil, you can tell me whether you agree or disagree with some of these grades. How's that sound?
Sure. Come on.
Okay. The first is like, is he a team player? Is he willing? Is he a team player? And, you know, Neil, I got to give Neil an A+ on this one. A+. He went along. He was a good sport. From as you saw on TV, he was blindfolded for 30, 45 minutes. You look perplexed. What is that face? Like, can you give a different face?
No. Not perplexed.
Dude, give a different face. Like,
I mean,
look
I'm not
happy
going
or
to
something.
smile about being blindfolded.
So he was, but you should be smiling about an A+.
Yeah, pretty happy with an A+. I would concur.
He was a good sport. He's always been that. Even the time I got him to swim in the Atlantic Ocean naked, that's a different story for a different time. But we have now, I have now in my friendship been able to drop him off in the Atlantic Ocean, miles from the shore, and I've been able to drop him off in the middle of the Georgia woods. A+, preparedness, being prepared for his trip to the woods. He's going to get an F, as in Frank. It is absolutely failing grade. He was
disagree.
Okay. Well,
go ahead, please.
I can't. I will. First things first. He carried his gear into the woods in a cardboard box, my friends. He was a cardboard box, not a satchel, a pack. It was a cardboard box. Most things didn't have the tags taken off of them yet. He had not unfolded them, had not rolled them, had not packed them, had not used them, had not practiced in his backyard, had not gone somewhere and set up a camp. He went in there winging it, and his preparedness was an absolute F.
The box is true. I did do that.
All of that is true. The tag still on the stuff is true. The wrapper still around stuff is true. I told no lies. Your preparedness was an F. And if that's what you do for your current customers, God bless Better Beans. I hope you're better prepared than that. F.
I think the audience will have to reflect on prior podcasts.
No problem. They will see your preparedness was an absolute F.
Prior podcasts, we discussed
you cannot on this call give stuff away, make excuses, or be defensive. This is not what you think. This is what I think. You said disagree. We here disagree. If anybody else thinks that if you've never been camping or never been in the woods, that you think preparing is bringing all your stuff in a cardboard box and it's never been unwrapped, everybody's going to give you an F, not just me.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome. Naivety, being naive. We're going to give him an A on being naive. He had no clue what he was in store for. We'll leave it at that. He's a naive man. Or a trusting man. Call him a trusting man. Attitude. A+. Neil's got a great attitude. What a team player. What a great attitude. Start to finish. I will give them one teaser here. Actual camp setup. Won't show pictures. Wait for you to see the video. But having no practice and no preparedness, I'm going to give him a B-.
Whoa, that's low.
What?
That is
well, that may be your
low.
naivety thinking that it was going to be better than that. But yeah, but I thought that was a great score. I mean, look, B- is way better than I expected to give you.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. I'm
very, very proud that you scored a B-. If the weather stayed as beautiful as you had it, you had a very good chance of your shelter holding up.
Mm-hmm.
If the weather held.
Yeah.
So B-. I thought about a B solid, then I started thinking about rain and going, oh God, that would have been a disaster. But yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
If, yeah. It's
a B.
All right.
So, I mean, look, you got 3 A's, a B, and an F.
That F hurts me to my core.
Yeah, but it was an F. You don't have to worry about that. So what was the funniest thing that happened to you? What do you think the funniest thing was?
Well, early on, I figured out that I didn't know how to use a tripod. meaning I couldn't connect the camera. So I set the camera on a tree and went to record myself getting into the hammock. And I wish the camera had a remote control on it so I could time it.
Yeah.
And luckily enough for me that whatever I ran and did to turn the camera on and then ran back to the hammock, because I was pretty proud of getting into my hammock to test it.
Yeah.
And I tipped over and fell right out. And I don't know if it caught it or not. No idea.
I hope so.
That was the funniest thing.
What was the scariest thing?
Oh, like a tarantula this big, or at least like that, right? And it came
Tarantula, a Georgian tarantula.
Well, a spider.
Yeah.
And it came eyeballs to eyeballs with me, and I had to I didn't scream like I wanted to, and I just had to back away slowly because I don't know if they jump or nothing. That was the scariest thing. And because that's also on my top 10 list of things that I'm afraid of are spiders.
Well, listen, I'm glad you're alive. The more funny moments, the more things they're coming. We did decide, maybe we can tease this for the group. We are going to do a new adventure next year, but it's going to be Thad versus Neil. And we'll call it The Fox and the Rabbit for next year.
This is great.
Yeah,
I got to hand it to you.
It's going to be really, really good. But this time next year, early October, Neil and I, Fox and Rabbit, it is going to be an awesome new challenge. And I've already begun training.
Shut up.
Yeah. Because as today's topic is real topic that we're going to get to, because the real topic, and we were in Arizona 2 weeks ago, and for a child care focus group masterminding session, and we got to marketing, and I kind of really feel like some of our members have lost a little focus on reaching goals. And so we spent a good bit of time focused on a subject that is near and dear to me, and it is beginning a project with the end in mind. So whether it's a project, a goal, a business, you have to begin with the end in mind. And what do I mean by that? It's a real big basic that leaders forget. You have to decide where you want to be or what goal you want to accomplish, and then put in no-brainer steps that get you there. So what do I mean by that? Like if you need 100 new customers, whatever business you're in, 100 new customers, if that's the end in mind, what is going to be the easiest, quickest, fastest way to get to 100 customers? And we don't ask ourselves that question enough. We instead focus on the steps to get there. So if we were looking at a mountain and the end was to get to the top, and I said, Neil, let's see who can get to the top of the mountain the fastest, right? 99% of small businesses think about what they're going to pack, what they're going to do, how they're going to train, whatever, and they start climbing the mountain. Correct?
Yeah.
Sound like a good plan?
It's a plan. Yeah. That's a good plan.
Sounds like a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Until Thad buys a helicopter. Right?
Yeah.
And how much did I beat you by?
Days.
Weeks. Yeah. Weeks. Right? Now, in business, too often we negotiate with ourselves and look at initial price with ourselves, or cop out with ourselves, or give ourselves a safe, easy way out too often, and don't focus on the end. And that's why we don't reach it. I mean, most of the time, if we're looking for 100 new customers, we end up with 20 and we pat ourselves on the back. Woo, we got 20 new customers. I don't think that's how Amazon got to be as big as it is. I think every time it was looking to conquer things in a big way, in a massive way, to get there the quickest way possible, the fastest way, the most efficient way, and make the most money. It wasn't looking and pinching pennies, because that's how you stay small. Mm-hmm. You have to look at the end. Now, there's ways that you can get there, right? So if you need 100 new customers, let's just start with that example, Neil. If you just need 100 new customers, and that's the end, how can you make it a no-brainer? Well, the first way is to like highly incentivize an employee or a group of employees, right? So if you need 100 new customers, I go to you, Neil, and I go, okay, look, I need Better Beans to have 100 new signed installs by February. Okay. And I go, if you can get me 100 new installs, I'll give you 50 grand. Let me ask you a question, Neil. What are the chances you don't get 100 new customers if I'm giving you $50,000 by February?
0.
You're going to get them, right?
Mm-hmm.
100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to die trying.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to end up with 5 new customers. You're going to do everything you can do to get there. You're going to fight like hell to get there because that's the end. That's your focus. Correct?
Yep.
We're not giving this away, but if it was $1 million to make it through 2 days in the woods alive, what are the chances that you would quit?
Oh, -10.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance, right? So I'm not saying that's the number, but I can tell you all too often, business owners go way too small with that number, whatever it is, to get to the end. They think they have to, make it real small, and all their employees will just do their job because their job is to get new customers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what they think. They think, well, that's their job. That's what they'll do.
Shouldn't they be doing it anyway?
Yeah. Losers. No. You want to do it. One of the first ways is you can heavily bonus an employee or a group of employees. The second way is to bonus your current customers, get referrals. And look, if you need 100 new customers, it better be big. If you went to your customers, you said, look, if you went to, if you had a restaurant and you said, hey, look, for every new dinner customer you bring me, guys, I'm going to give you $100. Maybe some of them go out there. Maybe some of them believe it. What if you actually told your diners, listen, every new customer you bring me, you get free dinners for a year? You would more than likely end up with an army of customers out there looking for new customers for you. So you could do that. You could also throw out just an amazing, so the third way would be to throw out just an amazing deal, right? You want 100 new people to try your business. You're at a childcare center. Okay. You give away 6 months free of childcare to switch childcare centers.
Big number.
Well, if you need 100 spots filled, that's one damn way to do it.
Yeah.
Now, and I'll have a lot of people looking and go, well, I can't just give it away. What if they don't stay? What if they do that? We just go broke. Well, if you're not any good, you shouldn't be doing any of this stuff. You better be good. Because if you're good, they ain't going anywhere. And 6 months is nothing based on keeping them for the next 4 or 5 years. It's a drop in the bucket. You're paying people anyway. You got teachers in that room teaching empty seats. So you can market a deal. You can bonus employees. You can bonus your staff. I'm sorry. You can bonus your employees. You can bonus your customers, or you can market a crazy deal. You can also combo those up. You can do a little bit of both if that's what you feel like doing. I kind of like picking one and just sticking to one because you can really measure which one was the most effective. But those are what you do. Now, look, why don't people do that? Why don't people keep the end in mind? Neil, why don't you think people keep the end in mind when it's time to we know we need to grow our business. Why don't they think about, okay, this is the end number. Why don't they do it?
Fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of committing to the big splash.
People are really scared in life, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I hate that for people. I mean, why aren't you going big at Better Beans?
Fear.
Of what?
The big splash, right? The same thing.
What the hell are you waiting on? Huh? Cat got your tongue?
No.
Bobcat got your tongue?
Uh-huh.
So look, go big enough that you can't miss. And then fight like crazy to have great operations in your building so that you keep them. And don't negotiate with yourself. Don't go, you're right. If I gave away free childcare for 6 months, we'd definitely fill those 100 spots. But I bet you we'd still do good at 3 months. Well, that's how you get 30 new customers instead of 100, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Begin with the end in mind. Make it a no-brainer, and don't friggin' negotiate with yourself. Don't cop out. Don't get scared. Jump. So I'm going to recap. Look at your business. Here it is. Look at your business. What is the end goal? What is the easiest and fastest way to get there? Take the friggin' helicopter to the top and don't hike. Go big. Go big with your offers, whoever it is. Don't negotiate with yourself. And make sure your operations are in place to keep those customers forever. Forever. So 1, what is the end goal? 2, what's the easiest way to get them there? Who are you going to bonus? Number 3, go big with your incentive. Number 4, don't negotiate with yourself. And 5, make dang sure your operations are in place to keep them forever and ever. Well, that's about it, Neely. I appreciate you joining me today. It's now time for everybody's favorite time to get rid of you and only see me. And it's time for What That Thinks. See you, buddy. Say, tomorrow will be our 3rd Cedars preschool in Georgia that we've acquired over the last 18 months. I'm pretty proud of my 3rd partner, Amber Edwards, who we're bringing on. And she is my 3rd partner that has come to partner with me from a previous life when they worked for me. Not only that is she my 3rd, she's my 3rd that was actually an hourly employee, an hourly teacher, less than 8 years ago, that are now partners, making 6 digits, have built a future for themselves. I'm bragging a little bit because I'm so daggum proud. I'm proud of Jennifer Flores. I'm proud of Brittany Pugh, and now I'm proud of Amber Edwards, that have stepped out, taken a little bit of risk, believed in me and in a concept, believed in themselves, and have fought from becoming $8 an hour employees into 6-digit employees in just a few short years. Are you proud of how you're changing lives in your employees? Are you developing partners? Are you developing owners? Or are you developing employees and managers that can help you make you more money? You know, because I think capitalism and America works best if you are developing partners, if you are developing entrepreneurship amongst your people. Are you developing many yous? Do you believe in your people like someone once believed in you? Well, are you? Thanks for watching. Review, share, rate. Hey, email a topic you'd like for us to talk about next week. Hey, and if you want to be our guest, I want to get some surprise guests on for next week. Email us at info@betterbeansbranding.com. Check out Better Beans Branding website. You'll see some amazing transformations they've made for small business owners in this country. And thanks for checking us out. Adios.